All right, so today we're talking about Facebook and using Facebook to market your notary business or your training program, whatever you got going on. Everybody's on Facebook. Social media is the best place to target market your audience that you're trying to serve. And so that's what we're going to focus this training on. So I'm going to share my screen and go over to Facebook. All right. Perfect. So first and foremost, I want you to know that in order for what I'm telling you today to work, you need a business Facebook page. Okay, you need a business Facebook. You need a Facebook page that is a business page, not your personal page. This is your Facebook business page. So my Facebook business page is Notary Nerds with no space in it. Okay, that's my Facebook business page. So if you don't have one of these, go ahead and get one of these set up as soon as you can. Marketing from your business's page is going to be very important for you not to seem salesy. Videos are great, especially for those of you guys who have a YouTube channel already. Here's an example of the ad that brought you guys to me today. Okay. Let's see here. Let me see here. Where is everybody at? And drop it in the chat and let me know how you ran across this training. I'm going to show you how the marketing on Facebook works. So in the chat, if you could drop the state that you're located in and drop how you became aware of this training. It might have been from an email from me, or it could have been that you saw us in a news feed post. Just drop it in the chat and let's take a look and see what matches up with the marketing. Okay, Wanda saw us from an email, Alabama email. Rena she's in Nashville. She saw it on a Facebook feed. Tamara, Tennessee, got an email. Facebook, Dion saw it this morning. Pennsylvania, Notary Nerds Facebook page, email, Marlene in Maryland, Michigan. Okay, Facebook, Rashida. Okay, so a variety. Okay, so now let's go to the ad because this is what this session is about. This session is all about the ad of making you, this ad is all about you and being able to market. Okay, got somebody trying to kill flies while I'm trying to teach, so I apologize. All right, so the point is, video. If you got a YouTube channel, then you want to make sure that you use that video for YouTube here when you're marketing from your Facebook page. Now you got to be giving something of substance away. For this case, I gave away a free workshop. But let's go look at the way that I targeted you guys as far as the audience. If you're not familiar with the boosting process, once you make a post, if you're on a business Facebook page, it will ask if you want to boost the post. You don't have to do anything special or look for any special buttons or anything like that. You can actually just tell it to boost a post. So here is the ad, and let's take a look at the demographics that I chose just in order to get you guys. Audience detail. So we saw in the chat where everybody was located and whatnot, but let's go see who I actually targeted. Okay, I targeted women. Let's see here. It looks like just from the names I'm seeing, it looks like that's the case. Let me see here. It looks like I targeted women. It looks like there's a majority of people on this call are in fact women. So that's so far so good. Between the age of, it looks like 35 and 65. If you guys wouldn't mind dropping your ages in the chat for me. Drop your ages in the chat for me if you don't mind. If you want to give me a fake age, that's fine. But let's see if the marketing was right. Okay, 61, 54, 60, 34, 72, 42. Okay, 33. Okay, 48. Okay, 44. This is your year 44. I like those numbers. Okay, good. So it looks like so far so good, right? Well, let's go back and see what else. Location we already talked about. And then I also asked for the, interesting. I thought that I targeted Notary Public and Notary Public here, but I only targeted people who were interested in fingerprinting and notary work. Is that true? Okay, so those of you guys who saw us on a Facebook news feed, if you could confirm or deny, are you interested in fingerprinting and or notary work? Are you interested in fingerprinting and or notary work if you found me on the Facebook news feed? because Facebook told me that my audience was very well defined. And so I went with it and then ended up getting you guys. Okay, so that is, I'm going to cancel that, but let me check the chat. Okay, very good. So you just saw firsthand the results of a Facebook boosted post. Well, how do you do this, right? Let's look at it. Confirm. All right, let's go back to my business page. And then let's start to build a post from scratch. I want you all to see it work from scratch. Okay, so if you don't have a video, I encourage you to develop some type of a graphic that's specifically designed for Facebook, okay? And the way that you can do that is you can go and create a Canva account, okay? You can create a Canva account, they're free, all right? You can start a free trial with them just to kind of get the feel of it. I wonder if it'll make me add, we'll just do this PayPal thing. So you would start your Canva account because the key to your Facebook working is making sure that you have a graphic that's going to catch people's attention. Okay, let's just be real. Okay, we're all on social media, so if something looks DIY, it's not going to catch the attention of something that's all shiny and bright and new, right? So for the purposes of your posts from Facebook, they need to be professionally done. If you can get them as close to professionally done as possible. All right, so it's not going to let me connect because I can't remember my password. But at any rate, get the Canva subscription, okay? Because that's going to be where you're going to do your design. It's probably a reason why it wouldn't let me in, because I probably would have spent 20 minutes teaching you guys Canva, but that's not what this class is about. This class is about Facebook. Canva, though, is the place where you can go create a nicely designed Facebook post, okay? So once you do that, let's just go to Facebook and let's find a post, and we're going to boost it so that you can start targeting people who are likely to give you some general notary work. Again, all from your business Facebook page. So switch now. Any questions so far? All right, so I'm going to pick a graphic image to add to the post. I don't know why it's not letting me. There we go. And let's just say I wanted to market this free live real estate and notary workshop, but let's just pretend that's you marketing your general notary work services, right? So that's a graphic that you had done over in Canva, or you got somebody to do for you from Fiverr, and you paid them $5 or $10 and they got you the graphic. So now what you do is you come to Facebook and you post that here and you link this to your calendar. And the way you do that is you get us a calendar like either Calendly, or you might even be able to create a Google integration where you use Google Calendar. I personally like Calendly because it already has all the nice little Zoom integrations and stuff with it. For general notary work, you probably wouldn't need that unless your state allows Ron, and unless that's the way that is allowed. But for most people, this is a great way just to have people schedule directly, right? So you go into a Calendly, you can do this for free, or you can actually pay. It's very affordable. Again, this is a business, so you're going to have to pay for some of these things. So let me go back because I don't want to do a one-off meeting. I don't want to do a one-on-one. I want to do, or do I want to do a one-off? Select the type of meeting. Yeah. One-on-one, let invitee pick a time to meet with you. Okay, that's the same as a one-off meeting. Invite someone to pick a time to meet with you. So you could use that and or the one-on-one. Okay, so we're just going to go down to one-off meeting. All right, so this is your calendar. And you can see here, I don't want you to show me anything right now. Okay. This is your calendar, and you can actually set from your calendar the parameters that you want people to be able to meet you within. I don't really like this setup. I think I want to go back. Let's do it a different way. I like the event type that I had going on down here. They've changed it. Let's see what the one-on-one shake takes. There we go. I think I like this better. I went back to the one-on-one because I'm not used to that format being what it is. So this event type would be notary appointment. Okay. Location is going to be the person is going to meet, or the person is going to tell you where they want to meet. So you're going to scroll to the bottom and go down to ask invitee. My invitee will set the location. This is important because you're going to, obviously this is for general notary work. This is for the mobile aspect of your business. Now, if you're a remote online notary, this may not apply to you. Just hold tight and we'll kind of flip this in a second to kind of fit into what you guys can use it for. It's the same method though, because you're going to basically be connecting people from social media onto your calendar. So now you've got the location determined, all right? So now you go here and you tell it to give it a description. General, I will meet. Actually, it's probably better once I confirm your appointment. We will meet at the day and time you specify. Actually, let's take a step back. When I did this a year ago, I realized that the more words and the more questions you ask someone to prepare for a general notary work appointment, the less likely you are to get that appointment. When people need a notarization, they don't have time to go through your screening process. As a good notary, you are going to want to screen people so that you don't waste your time. But the reality of it is, in using this method online, you can't get both worlds. You're not gonna win the screening battle. You're not gonna be able to send people down your little rabbit hole of asking what kind of document it is and, making sure. You're not gonna be able to do that. You're gonna have to do that on the telephone when you do your confirmation call. This process is just to get them to schedule an appointment. And you're going to see here in a moment that you're going to be able to control when that appointment happens. So you don't have to worry about people scheduling within an hour, within 2 hours, within 3 hours, whatever you decide to set up. Okay. So just trust and rest assured that you're going to be able to control that. So instead of putting all these words like I was about to do, valid ID required for all signers. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of wordiness and talking about what you need and blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell them that a valid ID is required for all signers, and then I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not giving them any more instructions. Why am I not giving them any more instructions, Christy? Tell me why I'm not giving them any more instructions. Christy Anderson. I just saw your name first.
He cut me off. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. You're not giving them any more instructions. As you said, you don't want them to go down the rabbit hole because you just need to get to the information, the signing.
Right. We just want that calendar popping. We want that calendar popping. We want that calendar just ding, 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 because we're taking this link that we're about to create and we're going to go back over to that post that we started on Facebook, right? So let's get there. Good job. Thank you. I'm so glad y'all are paying attention. Okay. So next, I've already told it, description, keeping it simple. Then you can come down here and you can make it purple or pink or blue or whatever you want. It's proven that blue is the color that people trust the most. So I like to use blue in my marketing, when it comes to stuff like this. So here we go. Next, or you can stay on brand with your colors if that's the case. Here's where it gets good. When can people book this event? As you can see here, the next thing down is when can people book this event? And you can say invitees can schedule 60 days into the future. You can do all these different things. I like to do within a date range. Okay. I like to control my calendar, 45 days at a time. Okay. Which you could accomplish here by saying 45 days, 45 calendar days, or if you wanted to say business days, you could do that, right? So either way, you could do it either way, but I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna tell it like, I'll refresh and come and revisit my calendar on July the 11th. Okay, so I'm only gonna let this scheduling happen. That's the error, sorry. That's the, I'm only gonna let this happen from now until July the 11th. That means I'm gonna have to come back in here on July the 9th or 10th. And, you know, otherwise people won't be able to schedule with me. So in most notarizations that you're gonna get from the street, so to speak, they're not gonna schedule out more than 30 days. They, matter of fact, will probably want you to meet them like within the hour, okay? So that should be more than fine, okay? So let's see here, let's see, June the 11th through the 11th, there we go. And then you hit apply. Next, duration. However long you think it's gonna take that appointment, okay? By default, I would probably give everybody a 30-minute duration, because even if it's not, say it's right down the street and it's only a 5-minute drive to the Starbucks or whatever, by you assigning a default 30 minutes, you can just, you know, you can go do that appointment and still have some time left to get ready for your next appointment if that appointment doesn't eat up your entire 30 minutes. Most of these shouldn't be that far away from you. Okay, if you took my marketing class, my pricing class, raise your hand or give me a heart. Let me see if you've taken the pricing, how to determine your pricing class. Give me a heart if you've taken the how to determine your pricing class over at Notary Nerds University. Nope. Okay, let me see here. I'm going to drop a link for a free 7-day trial, because this is very important. You can't go live with this what I'm telling you today, unless you know your pricing. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this link for those of you who haven't taken that class. You need to take that class before you start marketing. Okay, the link is in the chat. The reason that's important is because of this. When you come here and you're getting scheduled for these, when you getting people to schedule with you, you need to know what you can charge them, or you need to know what your pricing is going to be when you get on that confirmation call. Because the process is, you're going to post, this link is going to be a part of that post, and they're going to schedule, you're going to call them and do all of your due diligence on that call, right? So you need to not be flubbering around trying to figure out what to charge them over that phone call. That phone call needs to be, okay, you want to meet me here. You plug that into your notary gadget. You see what the distance is, or your MapQuest, or whatever your distance tool is, and then you know how to price. But you won't know any of that unless you take that class. So start your free trial and take that class. Don't get distracted by all the other shiny objects at Notary Nerds University. Go straight to how to determine your pricing, which is in the Notary Nerds curriculum. And I show you in the video how to get there, okay? So going down, let's go ahead and get this schedule. So let's say you are working another job. Let's say you teach and you work another job during the week until 2. So you can't accept general notary work assignments until 2, and then you got to pick up the kids after 2. So you really can't really do anything until like 5, and then you want to do it, until like maybe 7 or 8. And that's only this, for now, until it gets dark out. So what you want to do is to come and go to your custom hours. So I'm going to go ahead and set a new schedule. Let me see here. Instead of changing all of these dates, what I want to do is change them all as a new schedule. So what I'm going to do is start with Monday, if it'll let me. Oh, okay, wait a minute. No. As you can tell, I'm not in here a lot. And this is different from what I'm used to. All right, so 30 minutes, I go to custom hours. It's not letting me select the thing like it normally does. Let's do this. Is it because I told it June the 11th through July the 11th? Then it's not letting me select anything. Ah, that's what it is. So here, you guys, this is a challenge with doing it this way. You see here when I told it to select within a date range between June the 11th and July the 11th. Well, as I was trying to click here on Monday, May the 30th, right? This is actually May, it's grayed out. And I kept trying to click up here and they're all grayed out. Well, the reason is because I told it not to start until June the 11th. Bam, okay? And that's actually a Saturday. So I'm going to go ahead and edit that date by clicking on edit the date. And down here, it's asking, what hours are you available? Are you available all day on Saturday? Well, on Saturday, no. I just want to be from like 10 to maybe 1 because I'm going to be in the area anyway. And I can do Saturdays from 10 to 1, but I don't want my entire day taken up by people hopping on my calendar. So let's do that. And let's copy that for all Saturdays, if I could do that. Is there a way for me to do that to every Saturday? I probably could have if I tried at the beginning. Anyway, we'll figure out how to do that. So now we move on. We're not going to do anything on Sunday because we're just not, okay? Apply. Monday, let's just say Monday's when I'm working 7 to 2. So I don't really want to be bothered until about 5. So what I'm going to do is delete this 10 to 2 and I'll leave it from 5. I'll go out to 8 on Monday because I know people have stuff that they need done. So I'm going to go ahead and do 5 to 8. Same thing here. I'm going to edit. When it asked me to edit all Tuesdays, that's what I should have accepted instead of me just doing these one by one. So I'm going to say to 8 o'clock on Tuesday as well. And I'm going to go over here and edit all Wednesdays, delete that. And then that is going to go to from 5 and we're going to do till 8 o'clock here. So you get the point. Now, the other thing is you'll be able to control when somebody can create an appointment. They may see your ad at 4:54, okay? And then want you to meet them at 5:15. Well, that's not how we're going to do it, okay? We're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to come down here and we want to add time before the event to give us a buffer. 15 minutes would be too long. This is just your buffer time between appointments. This is not anything else but buffer time. So just 10 minutes of buffer time between appointments should be fine. But then you want to click on additional rules for your availability, okay? So you're going to show your time as available in increments of 30 because you have a 30-minute meeting time, but you also want to tell the system that people can't schedule within so many hours of an appointment. So what does that look like? That looks like you changing this to whatever time that looks like, okay? You want them to be able to schedule within an hour, then that's fine. If not, then you want 2 hours heads up, you can do 2 hours, okay? However you'd like to do it is fine. And I'm gonna get you guys to hold on for me just a second. Okay, thank y'all very much for your patience. So you can take this and you can determine, hey, I don't want people to come within 2 hours of an appointment or 1 hour, whatever you want to do is fine, okay? Now, what I wouldn't do is I wouldn't get into all of this maximum allowed events per day for this type of event. You don't want to overly restrict your calendar, okay? You don't want to make it a secret event. You don't want that. Just keep it simple and just do those few things that we just talked about. Once you're done, you hit next. And then it'll give you an opportunity to start asking questions about the location and boom, boom, boom. So all of those things. Now, you go through here and you guys are smart. I'm not going to go and just show you every single thing. The main thing I needed to let you know was how to control your day and how to make sure people don't book with you without, outside of a time frame that you don't want to book. The rest of this stuff, you guys can figure it out. Okay. Just go step by step down through Calendly. I need to get back over to Facebook. I want to get this link so that I can show you how this link is going to work with Facebook, the Facebook post. Okay. You can do any notifications of cancellation. You can do all of these different things. I don't think you should do collect payments at this point, but it's good that it's there. We'll grow into that. Again, keep it simple. This is a Facebook quick, I need a notarization, click a link because you showed up, right? You don't want to overdo it and be overcomplicated with it, okay? So keep it very, very simple. So now let me go over here and get the situation saved. Okay, so now that you've got the thing saved, the goal is to get the link by clicking on here, view your live page. You should be able to do that. Now you can see where people will see. So it will be important now for you to get your logo in place, however you want that to be, right? So that's the main thing with that. You want to get your logo in place and make sure your branding is as it should be. That way you don't have to worry about looking unprofessional right in here. And now you can see that I have all of these available dates and people can easily schedule here. So when they click that on that Facebook post pops up in their news feed and they click this link that you're about to put in conjunction with that, it's going to look super professional. Okay. Any questions so far? Any questions? No? Okay. Let's grab the link. Go back to Calendly and let me find the link. This is always the fun part. Back. All right, so the notary appointment right here, I can copy the link here. I can also share it here, copy the link there, however you want to do it. You can add it to a website. You can do all kinds of fun stuff, right? But your main thing is this is going on your Facebook page, so you need the link. Now we go back over to Facebook. Now that we're at Facebook, we're pretending that that graphic says, schedule a notary appointment, all right? We're just going to pretend that that's what that says. And I copied the link, but it didn't take. So let me go grab it again. Let's see here. See if we can get it that way. Oopsies. Let me post. Maybe that's what it's waiting on. Yeah, that's what it wanted me to do. Okay. I was trying to add the link before I posted the graphic, but it didn't like that. Okay, that's fine. So what I'm going to do now, I was going to put the link that I just created as some text atop the graphic. That didn't work. And that's fine because you really don't want it there anyway, because you're going to boost this post. You got this graphic that you've done over in Canva that's directing people to, come and get a general notary work, whatever it is. Okay. So you don't really need that link sitting top of there because you're boosting this anyway. So you click on boost post. And then from there is when you start, you're going to take that link and add it. So always, they say learn more is the best way to get people to click versus saying sign up or book now or whatever. You can use whatever. Okay. If you want to go ahead and use book now, I mean, that's what they're going to be doing, right? When people want a notary, especially general notary work, they tend to want it right then and there. So I know most people that are teaching about Facebook marketing say, that the learn more button is less intrusive. It doesn't seem like you're about to sell them something or require something of them. However, because we're target marketing people who need general notary work done, and we know that they typically need that done fast in a hurry, I don't think there's a problem with selecting that book now button versus this learn more button, okay? So I would select that book now button, and you see here where it says website URL, that's where you put the link to your Calendly. So you're gonna go ahead and move that out the way, whatever's there. And instead, I've got now my Calendly notary appointment, all right? So it shows you over here in the preview to the right where the book now button is popped up on the bottom of that post, right? Now, again, this post, this graphic is, get your permission slip signed or get a gun permit, you got marital documents need. This graphic is specifically targeting something that you've done over in Canva or you've had somebody do it Fiverr. So I want to make sure you guys are getting the full picture here, okay? All right, so now that I've added the link, I can come over here. You want to stay away from having ads that talk about real estate and politics and housing and all of these things, okay? The reason is because if you have to select this button, even if you don't select it and your ad is, should be considered a special ad category, the people that review your ad will catch you. So don't feel like you're going to get away with anything by not selecting this. Just make sure you choose ad language that doesn't go into any of these areas, okay? Your audience, we just talked about that as far as when I did that ad, but I want to show you how to create your own. So you come down here and hit create new. And the audience name, let's just say you're targeting plumbers, okay? Let's say you went to Canva, you created a graphic, and you know that plumbers are, going to be needing a lot of permits pulled. So you're going to target your plumbers as far as this ad is concerned. You got the graphic design and it looks great. It's got a piece of plumbing equipment in there. And so, when plumbers look at it, they're going to be like, oh, hey, that relates to me. Let me see what this is about. So the age range for plumbers, I don't know, we'll leave it. We'll leave it kind of on the lower end, 25, 26, all the way up to 65, right? Locations. Now, since you're targeting general notary work, you can do very specific zip codes. You can do cities. You have to keep in mind, this is where you're driving to. Okay. So with that being said, going back to that class that you need to teach, that you need to watch with the pricing, then you might want to, figure that out first before you come here and start marketing. Because if you market to somebody 2 counties over, okay, and they schedule on your calendar, then, you need to really have a really good handle on what that pricing should look like based on that distance round trip. Like I teach you in how to determine your pricing, okay? So that having been said, you might want to target close to home. That's my zip code, okay? Facebook will tell you if you don't have enough of a geographic area to make it make sense, all right? So in this case, what I'm gonna do is just go ahead on and do the whole city. Well, oh, I'm sorry. This is no longer in the location. I'm in detailed targeting. Let me go back up to location. Location, please. There we go. Murfreesboro. There we go. So I'm going to target the city of Murfreesboro. I just got a good positive reinforcement from Facebook. It moved me from red into green. It told me that my audience was defined, which is exactly where I want it to be. Okay. So then I'm going to hit save, but I want to go back to detailed targeting too. So let me get detailed targeting pulled up. I'll save that. All right, so going back to the plumbers, if I need to get back in, because I got out, I hit save, but I need to go back in and edit the interests. Now, if you get too specific with these interests, you're gonna just spend money and it's not gonna give you the results that you're needing. In detailed targeting, you could click inside of there and say, type in the word plumber. Okay, now when you see demographics, that's what you want. If you see interest, you don't know what you're gonna get. But if you see that plumber assistant demographic, that means that somebody on their Facebook profile has identified themselves as a plumber's assistant. You want them. Okay. Now I'm going to go back and type plumber again to go and look at the other options. Playboy. No, we don't want Playboy. We want plumber. Okay. Plumbing technician. Again, I see demographics. That means that somebody has listed themselves as a plumber technician. I want that. Problem is, there's a problem happening down here. Can anybody tell me what it is? Plumbing contractor. What's the problem I'm having?
Your audience is too specific.
It's too specific. Master plumber. So I'm gonna have to do one of two things. Can somebody tell me what my options may be?
Limit your interest.
Limit my interest, or I have another option, but that wouldn't be so good because it would hurt my gas tank. Or broaden my area, right? Or broaden my area. So now that I see what's happening and I'm getting real, I'm trying to target my money. I want this to make sure that it gets in front of plumbers. But the problem is, the more and more I do that, Facebook is telling me, hey, I'm not going to even show this. So don't fight the funk. Okay. Get out of that. Don't start doing that. Okay. We don't want that. So now it's even more important for my graphic to communicate to who I want it to communicate to. Okay. So now that Canva Facebook graphic is very important now. It must be designed targeting who it is I'm trying to target, right? All right. So that's the case, because otherwise, if I spend money on Facebook and I try to get too specific, Facebook is not even going to send me out. My money is going to be going out for no reason. I'm not going to be getting any return from it. Okay. So I'm going to keep my audience size. I'm going to keep my detailed targeting to a very minimum. I can't even do plumbing technician. Let me see if I can just do plumbing as an interest. Nope. Anytime I go to plumbing, it takes me out of there. Okay. Let me see if I can do permits. Permits doesn't even come up. So I'm just going to leave it as plumbing interest and see what happened. Oh, there we go. So what happened is, when I tried to use the demographics, when it says demographics, I was trying to use that. It shut me down because there was too few people within that category. But when I put plumbing interests, then that gave me enough people that are likely to be interested in plumbing. Okay. And I want to make sure I target them. All right. So let's see here. If I can get everybody to go on mute. Everybody can mute their phones, please. Thank you. All right. So now that I got that taken care of, now that I've got that taken care of, I'm going to hit save. I've got a nice size audience. You want to be in the green, save. So we've got our Calendly scheduler. We've got our boundaries set around when people can schedule. You don't have to worry about somebody scheduling a 5 o'clock appointment at 4:55. Based on how you set your settings, that if someone has it scheduled by 4 o'clock, which is an hour before, or by 3 o'clock, which is 2 hours before, then you don't have a 5 o'clock. Okay. So that's why that calendar is so very important in this whole automation. And you're not going to get tempted to add a whole bunch of confirmation questions, a whole bunch of no, you're not going to do that. That's your job as the notary, to do that over the phone with the signer. Okay. And Laura Buer has a really good video on the 10 questions that you should ask before every general notary work appointment. She's already done that hard work for us. Don't reinvent the wheel. When you get on the phone, ask these questions, come up with a checklist based on Laura's video, and cover it that way. She's been doing this for a long time. And as far as the questions that you would want to ask, don't make it more complicated than you need it to be. Okay. It's called the 10 questions to ask. There we go. There we are. 10 questions to ask before you take a general notary assignment. look, this is the video that you need to use to develop your own checklist. I'm not gonna go over that with you. I just wanna hit share so you guys
Getting an LC
can have it in the chat, okay? So each of you should be going and creating, especially those of you who have the desire to have a signing service in the future, that needs to be a best practice, a standard best practice, something that happens every time. So when you get them on the phone, then you ask them those 10 questions, okay? So we've got our audience, everybody's defined. Let me go ahead and save this. Let me get this muted. All right. If you could mute your phones, please. Thank you. All right, so let's see here. It's not letting me save. Why is it not letting me save? Let's add another county to see if that's what it wants. Internet's just a little slow and it's not giving me the option down at the bottom right hand to save, which is what I want and what you want. You want to be able to save your edits before you go back to the next screen. It's still spinning down here. But while it's doing that, let's see if we have any questions. Let me check the chat. All right. No questions. You guys are quiet today. Quiet. All right, so we're about to go back and see if this is done spinning. Hopefully it is. Okay, it's still spinning. Okay, so we need to move on. You would save here, and then what would happen is you'd come back to this screen here, and that audience will have been updated in a perfect world, okay? But in this world, the internet is dragging, so we can't see that actually take place. So that's how you go about creating the audience. Next, you come down here on how much you're gonna spend. I recommend that you start out very small, okay? I recommend that you do at least an hour, at least a 5-day duration. And I recommend that you do it, you know, starting off with a budget that you can afford. So if you can afford $50 for 5 days, then do $50 for 5 days. It says here that you will reach an estimated 969 to 2,800 people per day. Now, as long as that Facebook graphic is fire, okay, then if somebody has a need to get something notarized in that space, in that plumbing space, then they're going to click. What also is going to happen is people who know plumbers who need something notarized are going to tag them on that post. So for $50, now you've got a basic little salesperson out there, you know, working for you, okay? And they're working for you on a place where everybody is. I don't know what the latest statistic is, but I know that there's like 7 billion people in the world, and like 6.5 billion of them are on Facebook, okay? So don't, you know, reinvent the wheel. You know, not everybody is on Facebook, but a large majority of people are. And because of that, and because loan signings are drying up, and because loan signings prices are coming down, you have to pivot your notary business into getting that general notary work. But the problem has been is that general notary work, you can't make people need a notarization, okay? You can't make people need a notarization. So let me finish this up. Determine your budget. Come over here and it'll show you over to the right, hey, there should be about 969 people to 2,800 people reached. You should get about 30 to 89 clicks. Who can tell me how many people you can expect to get a notary appointment from with those numbers? Some of y'all are veterans in here, and I want to hear you guys explain it to those newbies. How many notary appointments can you expect? Who was that?
About 6. Oh, it's Cora. Maybe if you
Cora?
said 30, so like 20% of that.
That's correct. Of the clicks, exactly. Not of the reach, because we don't, the people, just because you reach just means it showed up in their news feed. Click means that they actually click on the button that says book now, right? So if the law of averages is right, and 1 out of every 5 things is going to happen, 1 divided by 5 is 20%. 20% of 30, because we're being conservative. Yes, it says I could possibly get 89 clicks, but I'm going to be very conservative because I'm a smart businesswoman, right? I'm going to go on the low side and just say 30 people are going to click. Of that 30 people, the law of numbers just says that, hey, 1 out of every 5 things is going to happen. So I know 20% are going to, after they click, are going to bite, right? Now, this may not be exactly true in this case because you're targeting plumbers and it's just going to be about who needs what. But that's generally the rule of thumb as far as being able to estimate your revenue. So let's just say 6 people decide to make an appointment. If you have done your how to determine your notary pricing and you know what geographic boundaries you are on, you can basically say, okay, it's probably going to be an average of $45 an appointment, right? So before you pull the trigger on spending this $50, you need to be able to look at that low number, which is 30, take 20% of it and see, multiply that by how much your average notary appointment would be based on the fact of you already doing that class, how to determine your pricing, you know how far you're going to go, you know your maximum distance. That's how I teach you, okay? You got to take that class first before you can do this, folks. 30 is 6, 20% of 30 is 6. 6 times 40, let's just keep it easy, as $240. Does it make sense for me to spend $50 on this ad? Give me a smiley if it makes sense for me to send this ad. Let me see your smiley. Let me wake y'all up. Make sure you're still there. Give me a smiley on the, you know how to do it. Y'all been Zooming all COVID-19.
I don't know how to do it.
No, you don't know how to do it. It's okay. There we go. I got some smileys. All right. Perfect. So far, are we seeing how this could help your business? Give me a scale of 1 to 10. 10, yes. 0, no, it's not going to help me. Drop it in the chat. Scale of 1 to 10. Is this information going to help your business? Okay. Awesome. 10s, 10s, 10s. Excellent. Okay. Practical application means you're going to have to leave this class and go do it because it's that easy. Okay. All right. So let's get back into it. So now that we've determined the pricing, okay, we've determined that this is a good ad to run. We've got the audience squared away. We're going to run it for about 5 days. I'm feeling a little froggy, so I'm going to spend a little bit more money. I'm going to spend $60 and I'm going to take it out 6 days. How about that? Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. And it looks like my numbers aren't going to change very much, but I get an extra day in there. So we'll see. Now it will automatically, if you've got this set up, connected already, it'll automatically share this ad onto your business Instagram as well. So you decide on what you want to do with that. I still don't know enough about the Pixel to even talk about it, and I always turn it off. It's not good when you have your Pixel turned off, but my brain does not work well to understand pixels, so I'm not going to be able to help you with that. But basically, if you had it on, it would make your life so much easier because you would know who your audience is. And it would just like shorten the time frame for you finding out who that audience is in order to be able to do good marketing. I still haven't figured it out yet. So I don't get to record all this wonderful data, but because I have so many other social medias, I already know who my customer is. So it's not very difficult for me to figure out. So keep that in mind. I'm sorry, I can't help you with Pixel. Here's self-explanatory. That's where you do your payment method. And then you would just hit boost post now. Okay, it's that simple. All right. So that's basically how you take Facebook and turn it into a salesperson for you and your notary business, especially in the light of the loan signing starting to dry up. And I mentioned when it comes to the remote online notaries that you guys wouldn't necessarily be traveling out anywhere. So you all have the ability to make your audience really whoever you want it to be because you're a remote online notary. You can take your audience, you can take and make your audience just as broad as you would like for it to be. You don't have to have any zip code restrictions. You can actually just keep your audience as as wide as you would like. Okay. So that's something that you can do there. Now, I invited you guys to this free workshop because I've got something that I'm about to launch, and this is the way for me to be able to tell you guys about it. It's real clear that, it's not easy to get general notary work in abundance. And for about 1.5 years, I've been trying to do that, and it doesn't work. I've tried to target with the certified notary real estate assistant, tried to target the real estate agents. With the fingerprinting, I tried to target the insurance brokers who I thought would need fingerprinting. I tried to target the attorneys. I even got in a contract with attorneys to do their general notary work. It was a 10-lawyer divorce firm that got into contract with me, signed my agreement, and never asked for one notarization. So it became very clear to me that the notary industry is an industry that you cannot force demand. And what I mean by that is if I worked at McDonald's, or if I was the owner of McDonald's and I really wanted to create demand for my cheeseburger, what would I do? Somebody tell me. What would
Make
I
it a
do?
commercial, like start to push it out?
Yeah, but what would I do to get people to really come and get the cheeseburger besides just running?
Oh, samples maybe.
Put it on sale.
Thank you.
Oh,
I would
okay.
put it on sale, right? I would put it on sale because I can force demand on my cheeseburgers. As a notary, what happens if you put your notarizations on sale? Or more people are going to want notarizations?
No.
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 They gonna cancel and go somewhere else.
Right? So if you put your notarizations on sale, just because you have a sale on notarizations does not mean that more people are going to need notarizations, okay? And because you work in a commodity industry, which is basically what a notary stamp is, it's anybody's got one, it's basically the same everywhere you go kind of deal, right? Then you can't force more people to come and get notarizations from you. So what do? Well, I think I've come up with a solution after 1.5 years of doing it all of these other ways. And that is by taking each of the most commonly notarized documents, which I have here. Let me share my screen. Okay, take each of these documents, right? And then we're going to keep and create more and create a professional graphic, not a Canva graphic, not a do-it-yourself graphic with the same notary stamp that everybody is using. No, with a graphic done by a professional graphics designer. I want to take and make each one of these into a Facebook and Instagram post. Okay. Once I do that, then it's going to be available to you guys. So that's why I'm doing this free training, because I'm about to put together, I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it, and I need y'all's feedback from that, right? Because I went and I looked on Fiverr to see, if I wanted just to go get somebody on Fiverr to do one graphic for each of these documents, how much would it cost? And it was about $5, right? And there's about 38 or 40 of these. Let's just say 40, right? Some of them are duplicates and some of them may or may not apply in my area. Let's just say 40. So that's $200, right? Well, that's great, but I would also have to make sure that they understood what the graphic needed to be on that particular document. Because again, if the graphic doesn't pop to that person on your Facebook feed, they're not going to click the link and schedule an appointment. You can't sleep on just throwing any graphic up on this is the strategy behind this is the graphic, right? So what my thing is, and what I want y'all's feedback on is, would you prefer to be able to access all of these graphics when they're done in the one place and you use them however you need them, okay? Just one-time fee, you don't have to pay every single month, and it's just what it is. Or would you rather have a membership to accessing these graphics. And then when they get updated or refreshed, or we add some different things or whatever, you're constantly able to access that new marketing, right? So tell me, one is a one-stop, just give me all my graphics, let me pay you one fee. And the number two is I want to be able to just do it on a monthly basis because it's probably going to be more affordable for me than the one stop. And then I also want updates. So tell me if you would prefer a one or if you would prefer a two. Okay. Ooh, pretty even. Twos. So far, twos are winning. Okay.
Monica.
Yes.
So I figured too, because each state is different when it comes to filling out some of these forms. So basically, if you have that information, then it can be catered for different states, if you know what I mean. Because some
as
states
far as, like,
documents
the
don't all
graphic- So you like talking about the graphic itself?
because the states, some of the states are different when it comes to doing some of these forms. So like in my state, we can do divorce documents, but some other states they can't do them because they have to cater them a totally different way.
Right, exactly. So yeah, exactly. So yeah, like I was saying, some of these documents may not apply to everybody, you know, because like, you know, some places don't require a gun permit to be notarized. So while some of these would apply, some of them wouldn't. So you're right. So with that being said, you wouldn't necessarily want to buy the ones that wouldn't apply to you, right? So that brings up a whole nother thing. But my point is, let's see for the ones and twos. Let's see here. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Okay. Pay for them individually or in bulk if there's big. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. So it's about even. Okay, so that's good. That's good for me. And that's what I needed to know. Well, I hope you guys learned a lot. This is it for the Facebook session. I got some good, valuable feedback from you guys, and I hope you guys got some good, valuable feedback, and it was an even Steven kind of deal. Let me know if you have any questions. Anybody have any questions before we cut out of here? And just so that you know, because you've registered, I'll make sure you can get access to the recording and you can watch this back after we get them uploaded, which will be sometime next week. All right. Well, that's it for this session. I will see you guys for the next session here in just a little bit. And thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you and see you soon.